Hello everyone, hello from Croatia. I will present you today about cognitive abilities as a predictor of vocabulary competence of younger school age children. And this presentation is made from me, I'm Katarina Aladrović, Slovaček, and my colleague Anna Matković. First, I will tell you something about two of us. First author is Anna Matković. She completed studies in psychology and she worked as a military psychology officer. And this moment she's working at Catholic Elementary School in Požega. And also she's the head of the For Life and Family Center of the Diocese of Požega. In her free time, she works as an expert associate at the Family Center Catholic Classical High School also. Her professional interests are connected with mental health of children and young people, also family values. Also, she is very engaged in research work, actively participates in scientific and professional meetings. And my name is Katarina Aladrović Slovaček. I am associated professor at the Faculty of Teacher Education, University of Zagreb, and I teach courses which are related to acquisition and learning of Croatian language, and I work with future teachers in Croatia. I wrote more than 70 scientific articles, also 3 scientific books and many children's books, also popular books for learning Croatian language. In our introduction, I just want to give you more information about keywords of our article. First, this first term is language acquisition as term of spontaneous learning of language. And in Croatian language, which is Slavic language, we have some interesting researching about this period. And some conclusions are that girls speak faster, that sometimes language acquisition process depends on the number of children in the family, and also it depends of order of children in the family. Also, it depends on relationship of parents and household members, type of family life, language environment, and language input and parent social position. After language acquisition, we start with language learning. It starts in Croatia, in Croatian educational system at 7 years, that children is 7 years old, and in this period to 12 years, it two processes are in the same time, language acquisition and language learning. The process of language learning means learning of listening, speaking, reading, writing, vocabulary learning, and also grammar and orthography. Here you can see our review of literature. Some of our references are references from Croatian authors because they are a lot wrote about learning and acquiring of Croatian language. Some literature references are connected with children's literature because we tried to find the relationship between cognitive development and vocabulary development. Some of our authors are from different parts. Most of them are from English because they research English as a mother tongue or English as a second language, and we try to use something what is appropriate for our research and article. And as we spoke about language competence today, we can see in Croatia, we have 4.5 million inhabitants in Croatia, and we are a very small country and very small language. And sometimes in public space, we have a lot of functional illiteracy. And the question is how to prevent it. And in our schools, children very often have fear of speaking or fear of writing, and they have very bad orthography and speaking competencies. Also, our students very often don't like school, and if we saw the results of PISA and PIRLS standardizations tests for literacy competence, then we see that our children are sometimes very good in strategies of reading, but their attitudes to the reading and their motivation is not so good. And as we know, the process of reading and reading competence is connected with the development of a vocabulary. As I said, a lot of different difficulties or different language and out language factors influence on this process. And we saw that in Croatia in last period we have more and more children with specific language difficulties, and also it has influence on the process of learning language, specifically Croatian language as a mother tongue, because we know that good competence in mother tongue influence on working, reading, and learning other school subjects. For example, if you have bad literacy competence, then you will have probably problems with mathematics exercise in words in sentences. Here you can see the process of acquisition of vocabulary. It is made by researching in Croatian language. Children start with first word at age of 1, and then this mental lexicon is very wide. At 3 years, children has 1,000 words in their mental lexicon. With 4 years, it is 4,000 words, and when he starts at school, this is with 7 years, it has 10,000 words. In this period, we have a lot of neologisms in their mental lexicon and a lot of communicatives. These are specific words that are for children, because children don't know many different knowledge about one word, because we have denotative and not denotative meaning, and if they don't know completely meanings of some words. Here I put examples from my children who are in this period, because many different languages influence on Croatian language. Sometimes in this period we have a lot of Anglisms, Serbisms, because children follow media, and through the media these languages influence on a process of acquiring and learning Croatian language. If we saw some lexical development research, then we see some interesting points, as the school children annually learn 500 to 1,000 new words with new meanings. A lot of them they learn from the context and from the reading. Also, as I said, know one word, it means know its form, using in context, mastering orthography rules for writing this, for speaking, her or its inflectional, their different collocations, and also semantic and pragmatic of this word. Also, if you wanted that children, that this word became the part of their mental lexicon, it is important to repeat this word from 7 to 10 times in second or learning foreign language, and also in process of learning mother tongue. The most important thing for vocabulary is reading, and it is important to know that if you want that children understand some context, it is important that 90 to 95% words should be something that they know, and 5 to 10% it could be new words. We have these PIRLS and PISA interesting results from standardization process of testing reading competence. And the better results with Croatian children is PIRLS, which is made with children from 10 years, and PISA is made with children in high school, in first class of high school, with 15 years old. And better results are in PIRLS, but bad results are with PISA, because with PISA, Croatian children are in the middle of this scale, but they are not so good, and just 5% of them are very good in reading competence. Also, something what influence on children's literacy and children's vocabulary is lexicon of children's book. And one research that made in Croatia showed that just 6 of 70 children's books, picture books, are appropriate for this age that is appropriate for. So, as on one side we have something what we called language process and language factors. On the other side, we have something what we call outside language factors, as media, as I gave you some examples. Also, language environment. It most depends on the place of residence. Also, family structure and language of family. Also, education of parents, especially education of mother. Some reading habits, as how often do you go to library in school, library in your environment, and learning other languages. We saw that some research show us that if children learn some other foreign language, then they will be better in competence of their mother tongue. Also, children who are 3 and more years in preschool education, they have, for example, better competence in reading. And something what we saw with research that made before, the children of more educated parents has statistically significantly better test results in knowing the words. Girls also are better than boys. Some children that are included, as I said, in kindergarten program since the first year also have better results in testing words, and children who learn English as a first language very often in Croatia. As we see cognitive factors, it is connected. Learning language, it depends on cognitive ability, and it is very connected, as we saw in the cognitive theory of language acquisition that wrote by Piaget. And cognitive abilities are the skills of the brain that we use in performing actions from the simplest to the most complex, and are related to the mechanism of learning, memory, and problem solving. And these are our criteria. Also, cognitive factors are perception, attention, memory, language skill, visuals, spatial skill, executive function, and emotion intelligence. In our research, we made one very big and complex researching in one class. It takes 20 children of the second grade of the Catholic Elementary School in Požega. This class were part of the experimental research where we implemented Priča-lovci. This is the storytelling program for making richness the vocabulary. And what we do, we make in one side vocabulary test. It is made by 30 words. And on the second hand, we made a Vexel's intelligence test for children from 4th edition. And also our data we proceed in SPSS. Our research questions, first question is to examine the connection between cognitive abilities and lexical competence. The second was examining the connection between cognitive abilities and semantic fluency. And third is examining whether parents' education and children's gender influence the results. Also, we have expectation through the 3 hypotheses. And here you can see our results in this table. You can see on the left side, semantic fluency. Children have to, in 1 minute, to say a lot of different animals that they know. As you can see, the 6 is minimum and 25 is maximum. In semantic fluency body parts, they have to say many body parts they know in 1 minute, and 9 is minimum and 22 is maximum. On vocabulary test, the minimum is 20 and the maximum is 26. As you hear, the 30 is the maximum of summa summarum of this test. Here are verbal comprehension index and perceptual reasoning index and working memory. You can see results in this table, and also processing speed. That is the most important thing for our research. Here also you can see educational of mother, educational of father, and sex, as I will tell you something more in next slides. Here you can see that fluency in telling animals and body parts and dictionary are connected positive with perceptual reasoning and working memory, but with processing speed it is negative, and statistically difference is just from the dictionary and working memory, and this is something what we can see as statistical difference in this and in this relationship, as we see Pearson coefficient of correlation. we expected, but it is not statistically significant difference in the results of the respondents with regard to the education of mother and father and with regards to gender. We didn't find the difference in these two variables. And for the end, here are our discussion, what we can conclude and discuss after this research. As we said, cognitive abilities are related to language abilities, and the development of vocabulary and semantic fluency depends on, as we saw, of working memory. The ability of working memory and verbal comprehension are shown to be important for the development of vocabulary, as well as the overall intelligence quotient. Extra linguistic factors proved to be less important in the sample, but they certainly have an influence on vocabulary development. It is important to include other extralinguistic factors as well. Some limitations of this research is small sample, and suggestions for further researching is increased sample, the number of respondents, also determine differences with regard to place of residence, and choose a sample from different socioeconomic backgrounds. And also, what is very important for a Croatian language, to do a standardized vocabulary test for each age group in elementary school. And this is everything of us, and thank you for your listening, and have a nice day and a lot of success in other listening.